We left the studio this morning intending to come and get a great cup of coffee, which we have found at Za Brew in Trenton. But wait until you find what else we have uncovered once we walk through the door. Talking with Carla Parks this morning. Thanks for letting us come in.
Hi, how are you doing?
I am fine. So we come in your door. You've just been here in Trenton for about a year, right?
A year on the 28th.
The name gets you in, Za Brew, which we'll hear the story behind that. Then your tagline, a drink you'll never forget. So I've got one of your famous iced coffees in my hand. But here's the part that I think people are going to remember, really, beyond the coffee, Carla. And that is your family's story of faith that brought you here to begin with. You feel like you are right where you belong.
Exactly. Absolutely, no doubt. So we lived in Utah for a little while, and my husband was traveling and the business started in New Mexico. And we were there for a while and we just felt uneasy after a while. It was like we were kind of ready to move, but we were happy. We loved our house. It was beautiful. And my husband was working out of town a lot and we really wanted our family to be together, so we were looking at options. And I was born in Tennessee, so my heart has always been pulled to the south just a little, you know.
Yeah.
And so we started watching a church online, RTTN, Redemption to the Nations in Chattanooga. My niece attended there. So we started watching and it just, it was one of those first fell in love situations, and we watched them for a long time. And we decided we wanted to go to a place where our family could be involved in church and we could be back in a small town, be around like-minded people, and my husband wouldn't have to work out of town as much because family is super important. So we waited and we sent my son out here for a youth conference. He was young then. He's the one that helped name the business. And he said, "Mom, Dad, we got to go. It's so green. It's so beautiful. And the church is amazing." And blah, blah, blah. So we're like, okay. So we waited for about a year and a half and lots of prayer. We sold our house. Then we packed up 5 kids, 2 dogs, and we came here.
So when we came here, we were trying to figure out where in their darling coffee shop we wanted to have the conversation. And then I saw that sign that says, "I'm just out here trusting God." And that's how you feel, I guess, every day.
Yeah.
Because you also had to have a lot of trust, I guess, in the community of Trenton.
Oh,
and boy,
yes.
have they come out to support you.
Yeah, they have been amazing. I'm telling you, like, I was blown away. We never thought we would ever own a coffee shop. It's too scary. You know, a whole brick and mortar trailer was easy. And they have supported us to where we haven't even been able to keep up with supplies because I'm still getting used to, stocking everything. So everybody's been really wonderful.
So here's what happened in my experience. I came in, Carla was going to give me one of her famous iced coffees, and she said to me, "What flavor do you want?" So I was already eyeing the salted caramel, and then you added a twist. What have you put in my coffee?
Oh, just cold foam. Just a little cold foam, salted caramel, and
coconut.
Oh, and a little bit of, yeah, I forgot.
That's
I'm
the
so
twist.
busy. Yes.
So it really does elevate it. I mean, that's yummy, Carla.
Yeah, and the great thing about us is we try to be not your average coffee shop. We want to offer something that people are not used to having and have a lot of choices on a budget because we don't want to be, too outrageous. So we do everything cold brew concentrate. You can choose up to 2 flavors with no charge, and it's kind of like a buffet in here. You just kind of come in here and tell us what you want. We have customers making drinks. We do featured drinks every week on Facebook. We have a lot of fun, and it's reasonable, and people like it. It's organic. It's good for you.
And you have fun with the name.
Yes.
So you mentioned your son who gave you the Za name. What does that stand for?
So when I made this, my husband is a pipeliner. He works long hours, and he was working 20 hours at one point in New Mexico. Legit. So we started making cold brew when we lived in Yuma, where the kids were all born and raised. And he said, "Hey, can you make that a little stronger for me? Let's brew it more than 12 hours. So we bumped it up to 24 hours, and then we got to 36 hour, which is pipeliner, and it was working. So then his friends were like, "Oh, let's try this," and then they're like, "Oh, you need to make a business out of this. Let's go to this this conference." And I was like, "Okay." So we made it, and my son, we were driving in New Mexico, and he said, "Man, Mom, you could survive a zombie apocalypse with this stuff." And then there came Za Brew.
There came your name. So now you've expanded. You've got obviously the cold brews that you're known for. Then you've had fun. You have a brand new one on the menu called a brain freeze. I heard 2 people while I was waiting in line order that this morning.
It's quite addicting. It's just ice cream and cold brew concentrate, and it's really good. It's dangerous. It's good, but you just got to regulate yourself. And then we have our a lot of signature drinks, and that's one of them. And then we have a zombie killer, which is Red Bull and smoothie of the day. So.
Something else I love, and obviously your faith is what brought you here, and family is very important. So you'll see if you go on their website or when you come down to visit, your hours I think are kind of unique. So you're closed Wednesdays, you're closed Sundays, and you take kind of a midday break, I guess. for when your
Yeah.
kids are getting out of school.
So that's the beauty of this business and what we have here in Trenton. So we homeschool our kids. So they are with us all day. So we come in the morning, and then they're in this little room back here, and I homeschool them in between. When I have employees here, we work with them. And then we take a break because I have 3 boys and a girl, and they need to run. So we take a break, we go home, we do lunch, and we come back because people want that afternoon pickup. We have a lot of businesses that are night shifts. So we come back in from 3 to 5 to make sure they can get their coffee, give our kids a break, we're here, and then that's how that was formed.
I know that you want people to come through the door to enjoy your coffee, and they will, but more and more people enjoy coming through a door because they feel connected to the business. And so I think hearing that story is going to make a lot of people interested to come and see you. Can you give a shout out to the Alliance here in
The
Dade
Alliance
County?
is amazing. Are you kidding me? All of them. Patricia, Sandy. If it wasn't for them, we probably wouldn't be booming as much as we are. And I'm going to give one more shout out to Keely Farmer. She is the one that painted this. Daily Good Designs. She painted our logo. And also Aaron. I forgot your last name, Aaron. Don't get mad at me, but they work at State Farm, Matt Mayfield's office. So them and the Alliance is based. They have literally held us up as we started.
It is just an example of how small town America, first of all, is still thriving in this country, and there is a place for everybody here in Trenton. And I'll give you a fun fact. David Carnes, who's our chief meteorologist, his first television job was in Yuma, Arizona.
Shut up.
It was, in fact, so he may be paying you a visit too.
I might recognize him. How long ago was it?
Well, I can't tell you that on the air because that'll
Lord.
age him.
Okay.
Here's your
But you know
information
what?
for where you can find. It's called Za Brew in downtown Trenton. I highly recommend the cold brew with the salted caramel and the coconut. And I'll tell you David Carnes' age when we're off camera.
All right, perfect. Thank you.